Alright, what I was trying to tell y'all a minute ago, before I was so rudely interrupted, is that Israel is an example to all the people of the world. The history of the Bible is not just to Israel, but it's given to all the people of the world to look at the example. Israel is the example nation to all nations, how God deals with people. When Israel went into captivity, they didn't go into captivity, they went into Egypt as visitors. They went there to abide there throughout the famine. But then they stayed there. They got comfortable, they stayed there, and then Joseph, took care of his people, and then there was a king that rose that didn't know Joseph. And so the Israelites were there, and the king saw them multiplying, and he feared them. So he did evil things toward them, put them in hard bondage and building cities and stuff like that, and putting them under hard, rigorous tasks, and trying to weaken the people and to keep the people from ever being able to be strong and mighty. That was his whole example. He didn't want the Israelites to join with the enemies. If the enemies would come and fight against Egypt, then Israel would join with them and turn on the Egyptians. So he dealt hard with them. This was their plan to deal with them. Now, the black man was brought to America not of his own free will. He didn't just take off over here. If he did come over here on his own free will, he came over here through deception, saying that you was going to some place or blah blah blah, and then you got over here and you landed into slavery, landed into a living hell. But anyway, the black man been here for hundreds of years, over 300 years. 400 years the Israelites was in Egypt, and God delivered them, sent Moses to deliver them out of the hands of Pharaoh. Now, the black man been in America for so long, he don't even know where he come from. He don't know where he come from. He know he come from Africa. Okay, he might say he come from Africa, but he don't know, have an idea of who he is, where he come from, and when you don't know where you come from, who you are, whatever. That means you don't want to go back to where you come from. You don't want to go back and reclaim where you come from. Take your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding back to the land of where you come from, and begin to build your own society. Now, anyway, we've been so poisoned against the people where we come from, and they've been so poisoned against us by the imperial powers of the world that we can't even come together. So now we over here don't cry loud enough, because the Israelites was crying out so loud in Egypt that God heard their cry. That's why he told Moses, I come down here because of the cry of his people. So are we really crying loud enough? Because if we cry out loud enough to God, he'll hear us and come down here to see what's going on. And that means visit our afflictions and then come down here and do something about it. But we over here stuck in America thinking that this is our home. How can this be our home? How can this be our home? When this is not our home. We are descendants of slaves that were kidnapped. So that means that our home is somewhere else. And we don't know where it is. We don't know, have no idea exactly where it is. You understand? So we need God to come down and visit our afflictions. See, right now, today in 2009, you got a black president. And you think that solved the problems for 400 years or 300 years. You think that doesn't solve the black man's problem? Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. That is not our deliverer, okay? That man in the president in the White House is not our deliverer, okay? The deliverer will come to take us and plant us where we should be, where we will prosper into a great nation.